Hey everyone, InfiniteCaz here, and as you will be aware, we just got a Splatoon 3 Direct, and wow, I almost have no words, it was really good. I want to briefly talk about my thoughts on it, and touch on some things I'm extra hyped about. I want to do some more in-depth analysis of these, but for now, let's get right into it. So how did I find the Direct? Overall, I was really impressed. The devs are doing a lot to make this game stand out, and it's not even close to Splatoon 2 in my opinion, which I think is a big concern to a lot of people. The game looks like it will be much more heavy on content at launch, something seriously needed in both Splatoon 1 and 2. I adore the new look of the game. Everything is so detailed, and the graphics look that much nicer. Especially in Splatsville, which is huge and filled with details everywhere you look. There are so many small features that I'm excited to see. Here I'll touch on what we have seen, as I hope to do a more in-depth video about them soon enough. While the gameplay at a base level looks similar, I'm happy to see the Squid Surge and Squid Rolls, two maneuvers that look like they will make movement much more dynamic. Speaking of making the game more dynamic, we are seeing 12 maps in the game at launch, a huge step up from previous games. 5 of these are brand new, 3 from Splatoon 1 and 4 from Splatoon 2. The new maps all look fun, and Hagglefish Market stands out to me in particular. The Splatoon 1 maps, especially Hammerhead Bridge, look very different, and I'm happy to see some major changes made to them. I hope this also applies to the Splatoon 2 maps, especially Wahoo World, which I love aesthetically, but it needs a couple of changes to make it fantastic. Not to brag or anything, but 3 of my predictions for Splatoon 2 maps showed up here. Not too shabby if I do say so myself. The new maps all look very fun, and I'm very excited to play on them, especially with the new movement and specials. We also see Flounder Heights and a brand new map scheduled as part of the free updates. I must say, from the image we saw, Flounder Heights looks way better than in Splatoon 1, and the other map cool also. I hope we continue to get a good mix of new and revamped stages, and the map pool is greater than Splatoon 2 when all is said and done. Weapons wise, I'm excited. I'm happy to see that every previous main weapon is returning, and we have some new ones on top of that. 2 new classes as of now. I'm personally really interested in the stringers, which are like bows, and as someone who plays a lot of chargers, these seem right up my alley. The variety in shots and decent mobility makes this look like a class I will very much enjoy. Next, we got a first look at Splatanas. While not my playstyle exactly, I think the design is ingenious, and the different types of attacks reminds me of the roller, a bit like a brush roller hybrid in my opinion. Then we see 3 brand new special weapons, the Tacticula, which gives 4 stat buffs, and the Wavebreaker, which acts as a point sensor type special that also deals damage, do look interesting, but to be honest, I'm not that blown away by them. On the other hand, the Reef Slider looks like a lot of fun, and kind of a spiritual successor to the Baller, and I'm very excited to give this a try. We also see some returning Splatoon 2 specials. I'm happy to see the Inkjet, Inkstorm, Ultra Stamp, and Booyah Bomb make a comeback, but Tenta Missiles? I really don't like fighting them in Splatoon 2, and I'm pretty bummed they are returning, to be honest. They're just so annoying. But putting that aside, the new specials look so fun, like the Zipcaster and Crab Tank. I hope that all weapons get some good pairings, so they can be used effectively, but I'm cautious to say anything in concrete until I try out the specials for myself, as it's one thing to see them in a video versus using them personally. Moving back to the plaza, we get a good look at the new shops and features. Ammo Knights looks familiar, but I really like the new weapon unlock system. and I'm glad that you can purchase weapons that normally unlock at higher levels, so good to know I can get hold of my Hydra quickly. The other interesting bit of info here is a new ability, which could be a main exclusive, called Intensify Action, where the new manoeuvres, that being Squid Surge and Roll, are faster and more effective. I think this ability could be a lot of fun, and good use if you will be performing these abilities often. We also see Merch, who has had a growth spurt to put it lightly, and he looks like he will be really helpful. The ability to modify the main of a piece of gear seems really useful, and it saves waiting for Splatnet to find the item with the main you want, making good looking gear much easier to obtain. Another quality of life change is the introduction of fits, where you can save loadouts and quickly access them. This is perfect when you have a few go-tos and don't want the extra hassle of equipping everything individually. Nothing major, but I love to see these small changes that will help improve the overall experience. We also got shown the catalogue, which releases every 3 months, bringing new gear and weapons into the game. For the modes, we obviously see Turf War returning, but ranked battles have a new coat of paint. Now called Anarchy Battles, you can now play with friends, and there is a series mode where you play for 5 games, but 3 losses and you lose, which sounds like a fun twist and something fresh to shake up the monotony of ranked at times. We didn't get news of a potential new ranked mode, but all 4 from Splatoon 2 are returning. The biggest change we have seen is in Rainmaker, which now has checkpoints, helping to break up pushes and prevent you from being overrun and knocked out in 30 seconds, an issue in Rainmaker specifically. There also seems to be more customization in private battles, which is helpful, but I haven't seen enough of it to know how much better it will be than Splatoon 2. On the other hand, the new training room, called the Test Range, looks amazing. It's so much larger, has more dummies, and now you can be in there while waiting for matches. I also like the new way to see your online friends and join their matches. It looks more accessible and immersive, which is a nice touch. It was confirmed that we will see League and a new variation on Rank X returning, but not at launch. Hopefully this means they will have had a significant overhaul, and I'm happy to wait a wee bit for quality experiences. We also will be getting paid DLC, which, if anything like Octo expansion, I'm really excited for. Other new features include the locker room, where you can customise your own locker and see the ones of your opponents, and there is a new shop to purchase stickers and other bits and bobs at. You can also customise your splash tag, which shows at the start and end of matches. I have no real feelings about this. It's a nice new addition, but nothing groundbreaking. Same thing goes for the new recon mode, the photo mode, and other plaza features. I'm happy to see more being done outside the main game modes, especially with the addition of this new card game, which, to be honest, I'll probably never use, but I'm glad it's there for people who like that sort of thing. I'm very excited for Salmon Run this time around, and this direct only increased my anticipation. The new map we see looks fantastic, and a bit more open, which I'm relieved for. The 2 new boss salmonids, Slamming Lid and Big Shot, are cleverly designed and unique enough to shake up the mode's gameplay. I think 4 new bosses is a good amount, but obviously I'm not against any more additions. I'm looking forward to the new specials here as well. They look like better fits to the game mode than in Splatoon 2, but I really hope we see more than just 4 available to use. The huge boy we were teased with before, the Kohozuna, yeah I know I probably butchered that pronunciation, is an awesome addition, and I think it will help teamwork, since you have one much more specific goal, along with it just seeming really fun, thinking you are done, but having to scramble and defeat this giant salmonid with egg cannons That's just brilliant, and I cannot wait to try it out. Lastly, we will be getting events every few months where the salmonids invade the city, and you must fight them on normal stages. We don't know that much about this yet, but honestly it's so clever, and something I would have never thought of, but I'm infinitely happy to see it as an addition. To be a little less positive, I'm not blown away by the story mode. I know it's meant to be similar to the previous games, and I'm happy that the stages will likely see more variation in the objectives and such, similar to Octo Expansion. But from what we have been shown so far, it doesn't look that original or as expansive as I hoped. I do want to be proven wrong, and I know I will enjoy the single player campaign, but I was hoping for something a little more, especially considering how good Octo Expansion was. Lastly, let's discuss the new idols and Splatfests. This time around we have a trio, that being Fry, Shiver and Big Man. I'm not over the moon about their designs, but I'll admit I think Big Man is hilarious, and the dynamics between the three of them seem great. One change I am quite excited for is it seems that we are doing away with the mandatory news every time you boot up the game, and instead the maps can easily be viewed through the phone and as a side thing. I never was that bothered about watching the news, but I know a lot of people hate it, so I'm happy to see the devs taking feedback from the player base. I'm sure I will grow to love the idols as I play Splatoon 3, especially in the Splatfests, where I think we see most of their personality shine through. Speaking of Splatfests, I'm happy we are seeing 3 teams, as I think Splatfests are often too one-sided, so this should help things. I love how Splatsville looks at night, and the new format for Splatfest seem interesting. The tricolour turf war is such a fun idea, and a perfect way for the 3-way Splatfest to be more competitive, especially as the winning team will have 4 players, adding on the pressure. The first Splatfest will be part of a world premiere on the 27th, and oh boy am I hyped. I'm glad the test fire will be a full day, and I can't wait to try out the game early and have a blast while doing so. I never was a huge fan of Splatfests, but I hope that will change this time around. Am I hyped for Splatoon 3? Without a doubt. This direct calmed a lot of nerves I had about the game, and I just can't wait to try it out myself. What are your thoughts on the direct? I would love to hear your opinions down in the comments. Please like and subscribe as it really helps me out, and I will see you all soon. Bye!